Hello all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll talk about Oracle EP refund process. So before we proceed, we need to understand what is refund process within accounts receivable. So take an example, you purchase some goods from a vendor and you've already paid the particular invoice to the vendor, and later you realize that the goods whatever is received from the vendor are defective. So in that example, you actually perform something called return to vendor transaction in the purchasing module, and then that will create a debit memo. That's one scenario. And another scenario is basically you hide services from particular vendor, and you have paid that particular invoice to the vendor, and later you are not satisfied with the service of the vendor, and you have claimed refund from the vendor. That's another scenario. And the third scenario could be like generally you have a prepayment invoice, and generally the prepayment invoice will be, if there is any balance which is lying in a prepayment, that will be applied against any of the standard invoices. But there is some balance which is lying in prepayment invoice, and you have actually closed the business with the vendor, and you want a prepayment amount whatever you paid to be refunded from the vendor. So this is another example. So similarly, there could be a lot of other business scenarios wherein you want to receive refund from the vendor. Okay. So I'll just take maybe the first scenario as an example, wherein there's an invoice which is already paid, and then later you realize that the goods are defective and need to be uh, returned. So when you are returning the goods to the vendor, then obviously you expect the money back from the vendor. So if it's a PO based invoice, then it will be you will create something called RTB, return to vendor transaction, in procurement model, that will automatically create a debit memo. But take an example, this if it's a non PO based invoice, then what you do is you actually create a credit memo directly within the AP module, and then raise a refund against that particular credit memo invoice. Okay. So what I will do is I'll log into the payables responsibility. So in this case, I have logged into payables supervisor Reliance Postpaid INR. Reliance Postpaid INR is my operating unit name, and INR is my ledger. So let me just pick up one particular vendor and try to create a credit memo. And against the particular credit memo, I'll create a refund. And then I'll get into the accounting entries. Take an example, there's a vendor ABC Holdings, and just pick up the site. And against this particular ABC Holdings vendor, there is some invoice which is already paid, but say the invoice amount is say $100, or say 100 rupee or 1,000 rupees, and then we have already paid 1,000 rupees invoice, and later you realize that the goods are defective or the service you're not satisfied, and you want to claim say 200 rupees back. So I'll be creating a credit memo for an amount of 200 rupees. So credit memo should be negative. Sorry, this is an invoice number. So I'll just say ARV something, and then minus 200. Enter minus 200 underlines, and then go to distributions. Minus 200. Use some account code combination. So this is basically a consulting account. So basically, so this is an example wherein an invoice is raised for under consulting expense for 1,000 rupees, and I was not satisfied with the consulting services provided by the vendor, and I am planning to claim 200 rupees back. Save this. Actions. Validate this credit memo. So credit memo is validated. Now click on actions, pay in full. Once you click on pay in full, Then the payment screen will be opened, and in the payment screen you can see the type is automatically defaulted to revenue, and you cannot sorry, refund, and you cannot change it. The reason why it has defaulted to revenue sorry, refund is because you have selected a credit memo. So basically this is screen wherein you are actually recording the refund received from the vendor. So take an example, a refund is received from the vendor by the form of check. Then you need to select the bank account where you are actually depositing the check. So maybe I'll select, say, ICICI bank account where I'll be depositing the check, and payment method is check. And document number is it's a physical check number whatever we have received from the vendor. So check number could be, say, 2305678. Save this. Now from an accounting entries perspective, if you want to check how the accounting entry is generated, online accounting could not be created, please. That's fine, we can run the create accounting and let's see what's the problem. When there is some issue in this environment, even though it throws that error message, I can see an accounting entry, but let me double check. Requery and then double check what is the payment number. Payment number is this. Even though it says there's an internal error, ideally when I observed earlier, it was still creating the accounting entries. So let me double check. Requery the payment. Let me try again. Actions, create accounting. Okay, it's still throwing the same. And this is the payment, right? Okay, sorry, I think now I realized. First of all, I need to create the accounting of the credit memo and then the payment. So let me try to first do a create accounting of the credit memo. What is my invoice number? I think I don't remember. So by date. Okay, so let me first run the create accounting of the credit memo. Okay, now let me open an Excel sheet or maybe notepad. So initially you would have created an invoice and then made a payment. So when you created a invoice, your journal entry would have been expense account debit 1,000 rupees, and then liability account credit, say 1,000 rupees. When you made a payment of this particular invoice, the journal entry would have been liability account debit 1,000 rupees and bank account credit 1,000 rupees. So the net impact is these two are knocked off each other. So the net impact is expense account debit, bank account credit by 1,000 rupees. Okay, now you have created a credit memo. So when you create a credit memo, the journal entry would be liability account debit 200 rupees, the expense account credit 200 rupees. So to go to the accounting entries for the credit memo, you should be able to see that accounting entry. This is the second ledger and this is the primary ledger. So look at the primary ledger. Your liability account is debit and your expense account is credit by 200 rupees. Okay, now when you create a refund for this, your journal entry would be bank account debit 200 and liability account credit 200 rupees. So if you look at the net impact, these two are already knocked off, this and these are knocked off. Okay. So overall your bank account credit $1,000, debit $200. So roughly your bank account credit is 800 rupees and your expense account is debit 1000 and credit 200. Your expense account is debit 800, 1000 debit and 200. So this is your total net accounting entry of your original invoice, the payment, credit memo, and the refund transaction. Okay, let me show you the accounting entry of the refund transaction, the payment, the refund transaction. Let's try to now, as we have ran the create accounting of the original credit memo, we should be now able to make the create accounting entry for the create accounting of the refund transaction, and your accounting entry should be your bank account should be debited and your liability account should be credited. Yeah, your bank or cash account is debited and your liability account is credited. So this is how you create a refund transaction agreement, the credit memo. So, but if you talk about the second scenario wherein an outstanding amount is lying in prepayment and that needs to be closed and refund needs to be vendor. So the process for this would be, if there's an outstanding amount of say $200 in prepayment, and if you want to receive a refund against that, so first thing is you need to create a standard invoice, apply that particular prepayment against the standard invoice, knock them off, and then create credit memo separately, and then create a refund transaction against the credit memo. That's the process which you need to follow. So from an accounting entries perspective, when you have created a prepayment, the journal entry would have been advance account debit, say $200, and your liability account credit $200. When you make a payment of your prepayment, the journal entry would be liability account debit $200, your bank account credit $200. So the net journal entry is advance account debit and your bank account credit once you make a payment. Okay. Now your objective is you want to get a refund of the $200 from $200 or 200 rupees from the vendor. So first thing is you need to create a standard invoice. When you create your standard invoice, your journal entry would be your expense account debit, say $200, and your liability account credit $200. When you apply this particular prepayment against this particular standard invoice, your journal entry would be this particular liability account debit $200 and then your advance account credit $200. So again these two got knocked off, and this advance account is debited 200 here and advance account, sorry, this is credited. Advance account is credited here and this is debited here. Okay, and when you create your credit memo, your journal entry would be liability account debit 200 and your expense account credit 200. When you create a refund, your journal entry would be bank account debit 200 and your liability account credit 200. So if you look at the total net impact, so here these two are knocked off and then this is knocked off with this, and then again this is knocked off with this. So get rid of this too. Okay. And just then this bank account debit is knocked off with this bank account credit, and this is already knocked off there. And then see your expense account credit is knocked off with your expense account debit. So your total net impact of your accounting entry will be 0 after taking into consideration the original prepayment entries as well. So it's basically whatever you have paid to the vendor you have actually received. So that's the reason why the net accounting impact of all the accounting entries, including the original prepayment, the payment for the prepayment, your standard invoice, and then credit memo and then different transaction is actually 0. Okay, so this is how you create a refund from vendor transaction in Oracle e-business. So for interesting videos and Oracle financials, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching the video.